can you tell us about how India and Taiwan have been strengthening their relations in recent years, and also what have we done together, and also what more could we do together?
Okay, thanks for the question, Kamal. I think recent past, if you ask me how we have been strengthening our relationship, I think a lot has been going on, and especially in few sectors, like especially the economic ties. I'll give you a few figures. So India's economic interaction with Taiwan has gained momentum in the past decade, with several bilateral agreements in agriculture, investments, heritage railways, civil aviation, industrial cooperation, SME cooperation, and customs cooperation, among others. So we have signed a lot of bilateral agreements. Then the cumulative FDI inflow from Taiwan to India are worth 755 million US dollars, and this is from April 2000 to June 2022. The bilateral trade between India and Taiwan is also on the rise. It has increased from 2 billion US dollars in 2006 to 5.7 billion in 2020, which is like a 185% growth. And according to the data that has been given by the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Center in India, bilateral trade hit a new record in 2021 at over 7 billion US dollars, and over 120 Taiwanese companies have been operating in India with cumulative investments which are over 2.3 billion US dollars. And this year, especially, the State Bank of India, it has raised 300 million US dollars issuing Taiwanese Formosa bonds. The name is the Formosa bonds, and the first Indian entity to do so. Now, these bonds will be issued through its London branch as of January 20, on January 26th. Will be listed on Taipei Exchange, Singapore Stock Exchange, and India International Exchange at GIFT City. So economic ties, yes, we are doing a lot. They are looking at Maharashtra as one of the places where they really want to invest, and then of course there is Karnataka. They have huge investments even in Tamil Nadu, and they are looking at expanding it. Gujarat is one of the states. So economic relationship, yes, and educational. I mean, academic exchanges or in education also. There have been a lot of important announcements and achievements that have been done. So it was in 2010 actually that the Foundation of International Cooperation in Higher Education of Taiwan signed an MOU with the Association of Indian Universities. Now this is important. Why? Because mutually both countries will recognize each other's academic degrees and certificates. And this is very important when we are having educational exchange with any country. Then there are 19 Taiwan education centers that have been set up in universities in India, and there are more than 22 teachers that are teaching Mandarin Chinese here. And within India, 8,000 Indian students have enrolled themselves in Mandarin courses that are being taught by Taiwanese. So this is somewhere where we have improved. In the number of students also, the data is 2019 is 2,783 Indian students. It has dropped because of the COVID restrictions, but I'm sure once the restrictions are, they are no longer there, which they have just opened, I think, a couple of days back. So I think the students will get a chance to, go. Then we have also had two Indo-Taiwan University Vice Chancellors Forum, where both countries' vice chancellors have actually come together to discuss cooperation. And in this, I think one of the very important cooperation also is between the National Chiao Tung University in Hsinchu. This has a joint PhD program with IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur, and IIT Bombay. So the students spend half the time that they do their engineering in India and half in Taiwan. And they have one supervisor from Taiwan and one from India. So this is very important. I think it's important and a good initiative for both India and Taiwan. And then, of course, there has also been, I think, one of the key highlights which I really want to highlight, and I think Manoj has also written about it, is that India Taiwan, it touched a new high when India launched its PSLV C-52 satellite on February 14, 2021. So this had a student satellite, Inspires at One, which was jointly, developed with Taiwan, along with Singapore and USA. And I think it is the first time that India has joined hands with Taiwan with respect to its space security. And we also have seen an up. How do I see a lot of interaction between Indian and Taiwanese think tank. We have seen a lot of MOUs being signed between the two think tanks. Universities, of course, are also signing a lot of MOUs individually with Taiwanese universities. So we have seen improvement in India-Taiwan relations at many levels. And we've also had exchange MPs visiting the parliamentary exchange, the friendship association that was formulated. We also have seen some MPs going. Manoj has just mentioned that there was a recent visit by an Indian, MP from Odisha. So all these things are happening. But there are still, ways in which we can work out and improve the relationship. There are many areas where we can improve the relationship, or where on which we can actually build on. So a few of them, of course, are that a lot of scholarships that the Taiwanese government is giving is in the science field. A lot of people who are studying STEM are going from India to Taiwan. So one of the areas is that if Taiwan can promote programs for students from the fields of social science, humanities, arts, and international relations. I think that is very important when it comes to India, Taiwan, and Taiwan has been pushing for FTA, and India will not sign an FTA with Taiwan. So rather than being stuck on FTA, what Taiwan can do, or what India and Taiwan can do together, is identify sectors which are very important, and in those sectors they can have some privileges, they can have some leeways, and those sectors can be like FTAs for that sector, rather than going for an out and out FTA, because I know the Taiwanese have been really uh, you know uh, rooting for that. But if that's not happening, then let's find a solution and have a sector wise this thing. And then I think we should work on our strategic, or you can call it defense ties. We can have Mandarin teachers teaching to our army personnel here. If, of course, it's a problem them going to Taiwan and studying Mandarin there, but the Mandarin teachers can do it here. This will help the defense personnel understand, China more, because many of them cannot read and write Mandarin. Because already our foreign services candidates are actually going to Taiwan now to learn Mandarin. Initially, they used to go to Hong Kong, but now, because of the changes in Hong Kong, now they are going to Taiwan. So this is also a big step, which we do not talk about. And then, of course, one thing that I say, and I think a lot of my Taiwanese friends don't agree with it, or never discuss about it, is that if India could also engage with a now democratic Taiwan and persuade it to drop its old historical territorial claims. Because Taiwan shares many of its South China claims and also claims on India with PRC that were initiated by the Chiang Kai-shek government. So I think Taiwan in fact claims to have historical documents supporting its claims, which in a way serves China's cause, and which is also a hindrance in India-Taiwan relations, because many people in the government, defense, would question that why should we engage with Taiwan more when Taiwan also claims the same areas as the PRC. So I mean these are the areas where we could actually.
Right. That's very interesting, Namrata ji, and especially the last point that you made. I think not a lot of people know about it, and I think Taiwan has shed a lot of its erstwhile legacies. And I think this could be one of those things which I think can really boost and take India-Taiwan relations to the next level.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. धन्यवाद. Namaskar.